We don't know exactly how much of a role religion will play in his speech today, but his advisors have been telling us that tonight is a night where he will be more open about his Mormonism to some degree than he has been before. Also on the roster of speakers there's someone who was a counselor to him when he was the pastor of a Mormon congregation in Belmont, Massachusetts, his hometown. And the invocation will be given by a police officer from Massachusetts who also had been a Mormon leader in the state and had served with Romney. Romney had invited him specifically to give the invocation. Romney has been struggling, as anyone would, as a religious minority, trying to figure out just how much to talk about his faith. In 2007 and 2008, he seemed to talk about it a little bit more, although he was never really that comfortable opening up about it. There is a lot of confusion about what the Mormon Church has a different kind of structure than a lot of churches. So to say that he was a bishop of the Mormon Church or that he was a pastor in the Mormon Church makes it sound like he was an ordained clergy person. And they were very concerned about how that would play out. Also, given the history of persecution against Mormons and the prejudice against Mormons, they just did not know exactly how to talk about it. Now, in this race in 2012, he hasn't been talking about it at all. It had been, when he talks about faith, which he only does rarely, he talks about it in the broadest terms. So he talks about belief in God, the importance of faith, but he wouldn't say the importance of my Mormon faith, or he would not name his church. So this does mark a change. When you look at the polls, it looks like partisanship outweighs any sort of unease or skepticism about Mormonism. So in the primaries, it looked like when they were polling the Republicans that a lot of them expressed concerns about Mormonism. But when you got into the general election cycle, when it was clear that Romney would be the nominee, they overwhelmingly said that they would vote for him anyway. And the feeling is, or the theory is, that these Republicans and people who tend to vote Republican are so committed to ousting President Barack Obama that they're willing to set aside whatever concerns they have about Mormonism in order to vote for the Republican nominee.